Continuing here. So anyhow, my wife and we were getting along okay. I never disrespected her, and I always defended her to my daughters. But she went from one guy to another. I don't know what she's doing now, but to this day, it's been tough to let this woman go. It really has, and I've really tried to keep the door open to reconciliation to this day. And I got one daughter now that's 34, one that's 32, and I think that it's high time that I move on. And what has been lacking is that feeling that I really could find a woman that I loved as much that I could really devote my life to, because I'd be with my wife. We came pretty close at one point. I was trying my hand at the fields. I don't think she ever respected the profession I was in, being a landscaper. Oh boy, you're a gardener. You're out there pulling weeds and mowing lawns. I mean, you can understand how it's really not an appealing trade to women. They want to say, hey, my husband's a banker or a doctor or a lawyer, or, something, successful salesman. But gardener, that's just not much of a turn on. But I did landscaping down there, and I like being my own boss and running my own show. And, that way I can't blame anybody if I fail at it, so to speak. Can't make it financially. But I got into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house there, and the payments were, it was a compound or impound loan, they call it, where you got your taxes and your mortgage and all of it's combined. And I went to a bi-monthly payment schedule, but about $1,100 every mortgage payment. But when she was having trouble with Joe at one point, she wanted to move in, and she offered to pay $750 a month for her and Chelsea, her daughter with Larry. The cutest kid in the world, just the sweetest kid. And to this day, I understand from my daughters that she's she's a huge homeless advocate. And but I told her, look, you don't have to pay any rent. You can live here. And still, for whatever reason, I just don't think she thought that I could forgive her, really. I think that she probably just thought I wanted to get back and just make her life hell, and nothing could be further from the truth. But again, I let her slip through my fingers. I don't know what more I could have done. I don't know. I don't know if I ever explained to her the time I left, and she thought I was running into the arms of another woman, when nothing, it wasn't the truth. The truth was I was overwhelmed with joy and gratitude, and I was just wanted to give her peace. And so I left her that night, and that was a big mistake. I had no idea if I had any inkling that would have resulted in her suspicion that I was still with her girlfriend. I never. I hope somebody's entertained by this story of my love life, but anyhow. But until recently, I guess the last couple of years, let's say I've gotten to see Lauren. I haven't gotten to meet Lauren, but completely smitten. Just her demure qualities, intelligent, sweet, cute, delightful, adorable. That I can just tell that this is a woman I could devote my rest of my life to. That I could put the love affair I had with my wife, or that consumed so many years of my life, aside, and just the gratitude I feel for this woman for giving me 3 beautiful children, 2 surviving. And I just can't. I could never turn on this woman. I could never. And I'm going to love her for all eternity for what gift she gave me. I have the utmost respect for mothers and women in general. But anyhow, I don't know if I finished saying that Chelsea is a big homeless advocate, and of course, everybody that has ever listened to me knows I've been a big homeless advocate for a long time. I've seen this wreckage coming since they murdered JFK. Things in America have been going downhill. The wealth imbalance, poverty, the welfare state, all the problems have been increasing. People blame socialism when really it's crony capitalism that induces the socialist promotion and the sympathy for socialist principles, the Robin Hood thing, redistribution from wealth at the barrel of a gun, this authoritarian thing. But that's kind of socialism is for the birds. But that's what's really caused the problems. I know down in Vegas, I started trying my hand at selling cars. I didn't like that either, having to compete with these obnoxious other aggressive salesmen. I couldn't do it, but it was kind of nice to be able to go to work dressed nice, and you could drive any of these cars on a lot. One time, the boss told me I could drive this new Corvette home to lunch, and I chickened out. I said, "This is a $50,000 car, man." So I took the Monte Carlo, but I had a nice car myself, pretty new Chevy Impala car. I still have now, but I worked at this Fairway Chevrolet dealership there, and on Sahara. Got my own cute little business cards, but it didn't pan out, so I just stuck with the landscaping. And I tried a couple little things, but nothing worked out, so I kept with landscaping as a mainstay. I know I'm all over the page here, but anyhow, it's look, unrequited love is better than not being in love. Who was it that wrote? Who was this guy? I was just looking at this one today. This guy that wrote, it was William F. O'Brien, right? Let me quote this. Some say risk nothing, try only for the sure thing. Others say nothing gambled, nothing gained. Go all out for your dream. Life can be lived either way, but for me, I'd rather try and fail than never try at all. Some say don't ever fall in love. Play the game of life wide open. Burn your candle at both ends. But I say, no, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, my friend. When many moons have gone by and you are alone with your dreams of yesteryear, all your memories will bring you cheer. You'll be satisfied, succeed or fail, win or lose, knowing the right path you did choose. Yeah, this is in Scripture too. King Solomon alludes to this idea that, it's better. Look, even if you are rejected, dejected, just ignored, it doesn't matter. And, I'm certainly not the stalking type, believe me. Whatever the opposite is, that's what I am. But nobody's going to stop me. I mean, if I'm smitten by a single woman, if she's got a boyfriend, she doesn't have a ring on her finger, you know what? I mean, I found out that I'm going to try. And I'm going to try to be appealing. I'm going to try to woo her. And whatever cards I have up my sleeve, I'm pulling them out, man. And, it is pure and innocent. It's that kind of a love. It's just, I just don't care about sex anymore. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, that's icing on the cake maybe, but it's just on the back burner that what's far more appealing and beautiful and enticing and alluring to me is just that puppy love that I experienced since I was a little boy. It's just pure, innocent love that want to be somebody's counterpart, want to please somebody, make somebody happy, and that's it. I mean, it's just really, my motivation is very pure. So I want Lauren to know that yeah, she's the first girl that, and I don't know what our age differences is. I guess that could be an issue. I used to be able to tell age. I can't tell age anymore. So if she thinks the age difference is too dramatic, then, the consternation, even if a woman likes older men, and if men like a younger woman, whatever, or if it just happens, it's just a fluke that happens that way, which it does all the time. Vice versa. I know when I was 21, I had a 44-year-old girlfriend, so you never know how this is going to turn out. But, let's say she's in her 30s. Give it 50 years. Give it 40 years. I'm going to be 100, and she's going to be in her 70s. So, the age spread doesn't seem so acute, right? So these things change, and that consternation from the public, they either learn to accept it or they live with their bitterness. But hey, you know what? I mean, there's absolutely nothing immoral about age differences, and um, there's certainly nothing illegal about it. But there is that consternation that you got to be able to contend with the social consternation that can rear its ugly head and make itself a little uncomfortable at times. But you could say, hey, you know what? Let them talk. But I just know that my motivation is pure. I just can't resist. And King Solomon, what he says basically in Proverbs 27:5, and he really makes it succinct. And King Solomon, he had a lot of other philosophers, poets, thinkers writing for him too, according to people I trust, to the records. And but one thing that was said is that better is open rebuke than concealed love, or love restrained. And you know what? That's kind of where I'm coming from here. Is that what we know that intuitively, instinctively, is that you've got to try. I mean, I've had girls try with me too. I know when a girl's trying to hit on me, and if it's not there, I'm not going to lead her on to think it's there. But it doesn't stop me from loving her and letting her know that. But it's just, if I don't feel like I could devote my life to a woman and really give her 100%, this whole death do we part thing, that's what I'm talking about here. And it has nothing to do with being written on paper or the law or anything else, okay? It has to do what's between the couple and what God sees. So, to me, a marriage that's not on paper is every bit as legitimate as one that is. So, what I'm looking for is just to try to fill a hole, maybe, in a woman's life and make her happy. And that's my intentions with Lauren. And I hope I haven't made her uncomfortable. And at least she could take solace in the fact that nobody else knows who I'm talking about except her. And I'm not gonna go telling a lot of people who I'm in love with, but she just makes me want to go out and get a going steady ring. They used to call them, now they call them promise rings, and have it on hand. And in case if we ever do get to meet, and she wants to meet me and go out for coffee or whatever else, and just see if she thinks that it's possible to have it on hand, and let her know that I already can tell that I already feel like I know that she's just a well-rounded, decent woman, and from what I know about her, it's enough. And I would accept her 100% for everything that she's been through in life. And I just know. I just know. I have a sense. I have an instinct. Sixth sense, call it. Intuition. But I absolutely know that this is a woman I could absolutely give myself to. No strings attached either. But, a woman this fine, she's certain to have many attractive suitors, and likely more attractive than myself, and probably more financially stable. But like I said, I'd be willing to do a lot for a woman like this. And it reminds me of that Who song, I call it a bargain. But yeah, I might even go out if she wanted me to get a regular job. But, I'm in a good position now. I'll be able to collect retirement next year, and if she wanted to have a family, or if she didn't, I'm fine either way. But I'm in a good position to help 100%, to be there for the kids, whatever, or to get a job, do anything. I call that a bargain, the best I ever had. But anyhow, whatever she wants, any way she wants it, that's what I would want. And 100% comfortable, relaxed, at peace, no pressure, no strings attached. I know, if a man is sensitive and intelligent, he can kind of feel out the situation and know the last thing you want to do with a woman is to pressure her. And I just don't want her to feel that. That's why she's going to remain anonymous except for her first name. But that's it. I just find her alluring beyond being able to resist. And as fine as she looks and sounds and feels, but she smells nice too. I know she smells nice without even smelling her. But anyhow, listen, it's enough. I'm starting to get stupid now, but it's good to be in love, and I am. This is the first Valentine's Day that I felt like I was in love since my wife, I guess.